Hey guys, Hus here bringing you another video. Now welcome to a video people have always asked about, and I do them once or twice, maybe a year. And that is my champion pool video. So we're doing it tonight because, well, technically, this is the 23rd. I'm recording on the 23rd, and Season 9 was supposed to start today. It got delayed because of some holiday in America. So it delayed everywhere for some reason. But yeah, so it's starting tomorrow. So it gave me a good chance. Today's second video, we can go over the champion pool. These are going to be my starting champions to Season 9. Now, before we begin, I just want to make it abundantly clear that if you're on North America or Korea, you guys have role ranked in Split 1 next season. Remember, the upcoming season, Season 9, is actually split into 3 different splits. Every 3 months is basically like a mini season, and you can earn rewards as you go. I quite like that. But role ranked is not on EU West, the server that I'm on. That means I have to make a balanced champion pool for all 5 roles. Now, obviously, that's quite rare. People still don't do that, even with, not role ranked. I do. I do take into account that I'm going to get bored occasionally and I just want to play the occasional AD carry game. Or I'm going to get autofill to support. I take that into account and I build a champion pool knowing what champions I'm going to play in those roles preemptively. So I'm prepared for it. I'm confident in those champions. So that's just that out the way. So again, for those that are going, why are you putting supports or AD carries? That's why. If, by the way, and, well, I'll say if role ranked does come to EU West, if it's a success on North America and Korea, then I most likely, well, my champion pool will be mid and top, maybe jungle, depending how we go with it. And I'll still have champions in AD carry and support because, again, autofill is still going to be a thing. This role ranked isn't getting rid of autofill. Even though that I thought that was the original reason for it, but it's not. But anyway, let's get into it. So the 3 things we're going to do when we're looking to champion pool is op.gg stats, u.gg, kind of just seeing how strong a champion is right now, and then a lol skill to kind of get some more information and stuff like that. So one thing I will say is I wish I did this a couple days ago because I think op.gg made a mistake somewhere down the line that they deleted the preseason stats. So if you use op.gg the last few days, they had a tab right here where this said Season 8 total. That was actually preseason, and in the champion list there was just a preseason column. That, unfortunately, is gone. And I checked if it was added into these stats. No, because unfortunately my Kassadin, I only played 2 games of Kassadin last season, wherever it is, somewhere, and I, in preseason, played 3 games of Kassadin, and I had a 100% win rate. It didn't get added. There you go, Kassadin. So my preseason games did not get added, even though I did well in preseason. So that's a little bit annoying. We're going to have to go off a little bit of memory. And honestly, we're going to have to kind of go off... You see how many defeats? We're going to have to go off as much as we can the match history. Again, it's not going to last 3 months. And you'll also notice... Yes, I have gone down that low rating. As again, I've been very stressed recently. You guys know what's happened with the content, and I'm trying to make a better change. When you're seeing this much red, that also probably didn't help my mood with obviously all the health stuff that's going on as well. So I'm just going to kind of go as much as we can down, which is over 2 weeks. How much more can we go? Here we go. We are nearly at 3 weeks, so that's not bad. That'll give us like a decent amount of like, are we going to play Kled? And obviously we can see good performances of Kled, for example. So that's good. And that's it. So we basically have just over 3 weeks. So we're going to start with my main role, which is mid. And I'm, clearly announcing, which isn't a surprise, it shouldn't be. Mid lane is going to be my main role in Season 9. We're going to be going for a more of aggressive playstyle. And, that basically means Malzahar probably won't be a thing in Season 9. I know I said that, I vowed that, there won't be a single game. Again, maybe there will, but I'm probably not going to make any content on him. And if there ever is, it's not going to be really anything that's together. Like, I think what people kind of got burnt out on, he's not the most fun champion to watch. And I was doing a lot of Malzahar videos very close together. So I say he's not in the starting 5 champion pool. But, if LeBlanc comes into meta and I can't deal with her very well, or if Silas comes out and Malzahar is a massive counter, then obviously there's a chance. But we're going to actually build a little text file here. And we're going to start with mid. Look at that, mid lane. Alright, so our first champion, and let me to announce drumroll and everything. It shouldn't be a surprise, really. Fizz. So you can see Fizz is around 8 and 2 performance, 12 and 5 performance. he was there, here or there. You know, I'm not going to find everything. Right now, again, this is where you've got to be careful and use this correctly. This is the feature on u.gg that's above the camera that you guys can't see. It says tier lists. I'm not a fan of tier lists. People know this, so I actually say ignore the tier column. And just focus on the win rate, pick rate, ban rate. Again, not even really run rate. Ban rate and pick rate and ban rate tell you a lot more about champion strengths, which is good. But what I like about this is it also gives you the counter pick straight in like this file right here, and how many matches of data they used for all this. So Fizz, you can see, is down here. They are technically ranking him as an S tier. His win rate overall is positive, but yeah, his pick rate is okay. It's a decent pick rate for solo queue, and his ban rate, what I like, is pretty low. So what I'd say is, if you kind of notice that like Vladimir has a higher pick rate and a much larger ban rate, Aatrox, a larger pick rate, huge ban rate. So what that kind of means is Fizz is pretty strong. He's up there with these champions. But he goes a lot more under the radar than the rest of them. You'll notice Annie is massive at that. Like, Annie has a tiny pick rate, and like no one bans her. Like, Annie's really good, by the way, and she is going to be like my 6th optional pick, by the way, and I'll explain that later. But Fizz is there, numero uno. So that's number 1. Number 2 shouldn't, again, be a surprise, and this is a personal pick of mine. You'll notice he's not even in the top. God, like nowhere near. Oh, actually, he is. I lied. I just didn't notice. It's Xerath. So Xerath is making a comeback, and what I've said is for the last couple of years, I've always said, I can't even spell today, my Xerath is good. When I'm on point, I know my Xerath's good. I'm confident in that, and again, I'm sure everybody watching, you have that pick that you're like, if I'm playing well, I'm a god at that. That's Xerath for me. And, you know, he, again, is one of those champions that is going under the radar. He has a low pick rate, a tiny ban rate. No one bans him, so you can basically play him consistently every single game without worrying he's going to get banned. For example, if you're a Galio main right now, and if I put Galio in my pool, he's nearly banned in half the games. So it's like, what's the point? Galio isn't going to make it. But I like champions that are strong, but go under the radar. So that's where Xerath is kind of in. Now, third pick is a little bit interesting for me, and what I will say is, again, it's never good to have very, very, very similar picks in your champion pool, but I would say a champion that I'm tempted to put in is Lux. The reason why is I just, again, play well on Lux. She, once again, goes under the radar, a lower ban rate than Xerath, a little bit more of a pick rate, and obviously a lot of people play her in mid, but what you'll notice is these two champions, their counters are slightly different, but what I also like is Xerath, I've always said, is a maybe slightly better version than Lux, which is true, but Lux beats Xerath. I know how weird that sounds. It's like, huh? Lux has a more reliable chain CC, and to get to a Xerath when he's casting his Q, it gives Lux basically her free Q to land on him. So I'm tempted to put Lux in there, because 1, I like the champion. 2, I've always been quite good at her. And again, if I'm not really in the mood to play Xerath, but I still kind of want that long-range mage, she's definitely there. But the other one, and again, this is how you form a champion pool, you're kind of thinking, the other one that is always in the back of my head as well is Ziggs. Where is Ziggs in this list? So Ziggs is all the way down here. He doesn't even exist in bans, 0.1. He's, you know, not bad. You know, he's underrated, I'm pretty sure. He's not bad. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to put Ziggs. So the reason why I'm going to put Ziggs is what Ziggs gives to me, and I wonder if I can actually show it at all, if I've got any Ziggs games. Unfortunately, I can't control F because it doesn't say the champion name. But see, there's a Ziggs. So there's a really good Ziggs performance. So that's Ziggs. Is there any more Ziggs games? But what I've always found, there's another Ziggs game, not as, you know, we lost that game. But I've always been better at farming with Ziggs. There's another Ziggs game. But I'm more comfortable with farming on Ziggs than probably any other champion, if I'm honest. There's another Ziggs game. So I'm playing a bit of him. But I like him. Again, he's underrated, I think. He isn't really seen at all. So what that means is basically people may not know how the power spikes of Ziggs. So he's a bit of an undercard, which I quite like. So that's Ziggs. Now the final pick, and this may surprise some people, as I mentioned, is upcoming season, we're going to be going back to a relative aggressive playstyle. And I have been practicing this champion a few times in preseason. Some of them went well, but I'm looking to basically, and again, this is a preliminary champion pool. It doesn't mean I'm going to spam these games right off the get-go. I'm going to start with my more comfort picks, then move into more stuff. We're going to put Zed. So Zed is going to be making a comeback into my champion pool. That is the 4th champion. Sorry. And again, it's because I want an aggressive AD champion. I don't want my champion pool to be all AP, which it predominantly will be for mid lane. And Zed gives me options, split pushing options, assassination options. But I will say there's a caveat to Zed, is he's going to be a very niche pick for me. I'm never really going to pick the champion if I'm blind pick. I'm never really going to pick the champion if my team is full AD. It'll be a very like, oh, I've got an AP top laner, or I've got Karthus jungle, or I'll play Zed. Oh, the matchup's a good matchup, or I'll play Zed. Oh, it's a Twisted Fate mid, or it's an Ahri mid, okay, I'll play Zed. That's what Zed's going to be for me, and maybe if for the beginning, and maybe if I get better at the champion while playing him, I'll be like, okay, no, I'm more confident just to pick him whenever I want, and he'll become like one of the main champs in Season 9. And then really the last solid pick, it's kind of open in the end. I will say we're going to put just a champion right now in brackets. We're going to put Annie in brackets. The reason why I'm putting in brackets is that she is the extra champion that I'm always going to call on if I'm not feeling great, if I'm not playing well, or am I feeling a little bit under the weather myself. I'm going to play Annie, because Annie is actually solid. She's not as easy as people think. She is a champion that people recommend if you're new to mid lane, but she has skill shots, so she's not like a running champion or an auto-attacking champion. She has to land her skill shots. The trick of Annie is decision-making, when to land Tibbers, because you could go for a Tibbers, and, you know, Annie in this tier list, by the way, is, again, above Fizz. She is really under the radar. When you land your Tibbers, if you land your Tibbers at one stage and then 2 seconds later you saw an opportunity to land it on 3 people instead of 1, you're like, oh no, that's the skill of Annie. And I like her. She's actually kind of fun to play. She's chill. She's good when you're bad at farming, so especially with me. So yeah, she is there. And then really the last pick, like the last solid pick, is one I actually haven't decided, so I'm not going to rush into, but it's a mix between like a Nivea. It was like a Nivea or Lux, I guess we could put in that, and Vel'Koz. Those are the 3. So I'm not really sure which one I'm going to go with, because again, they're quite similar. In my champion pool, we got Fizz as my AP assassin. We've got Xerath as my... Honestly, it doesn't matter what he is. He's just my comfort pick when I know I'm playing well. Ziggs is my farmer. So again, very similar to Xerath, but if I'm like, no, I want to farm this game, that's Ziggs. Zed is my AD pick, my AD assassin. Annie's my, if I'm tilted or I know I'm not playing great, pick. And then really the rest of them, so what is Vel'Koz? Vel'Koz gives true damage, so he's better against tanks. So that could be an option on why he could be in the champion pool, because he arguably is better against tanks than the others. Again, Vladimir could be a contender as well. See, that's the problem. And again, I'm never going to limit myself when I say 5 champions is kind of where I'm looking at. If I make that 6, fair enough. If there's an actual warranted reason for going for 6 over 5 champions, I'll do it. Again, the reason that you could get Vladimir in, Vladimir is amazing versus melee comps, is because they have to be close to him to do damage. He gets a massive AoE ultimate when they're all clumped together, and he can survive with his W with doing AoE damage. He's incredible against AD comps and melee comps. So Vladimir could be there just for that reason, and he is fun to play. So I'm just going to leave top lane, mid lane for now, but there is definitely expansion potentially. I guess what we can do, just to make it more clear, is we'll put in asterisks, what I'm kind of thinking at the end here is Vel'Koz as my kind of tank killing true damage mid laner, and Vladimir for my against melee team comps. And I think that's a relatively well-rounded champion pool. I don't think there's that many weaknesses. The only thing I'd say is a lot of those champions are not incredibly strong in the early game, and that is a weakness of mine. Fizz isn't bad, Annie's not bad, Vladimir isn't bad, but you know, Xerath isn't very good in the early game, Ziggs isn't great, Zed not amazing in a lot of matchups. So I don't know if I would potentially need to expand into an early game mid laner, but honestly, there's not many popular ones at the moment. Some people may be asking the question right now is, Huz, where's Karthus? He's again on the fence for me. I have been thinking about Karthus because he is fun, but he's very popular right now. So I don't know. He's on the fence. I am thinking about it. And again, if I add him, I add him. If I don't, I don't. Let's now go to top lane. So we'll go Skadoosh. So again, some of the top lane picks are a little bit weird. Like Cassio technically is the strongest top laner. I'm not playing that. I'm not interested in playing Cassio top. So the first thing we're going to do is add a new champion, technically, and that is Kled. And so we've been playing a bunch of Kled, which we will be able to see in my performances if we scroll down and kind of look through some. There's one, so 10-1, really good performance. I'm not sure how many I played in pre-season. I think I played 1 or 2, but they might have been before that point. There's another. So we won that game, went 2 and 6, but still we won. Any more Kled games? Another Kled game, so a good performance, but we lost. I was involved, there you go, in 67% kill participation. So that must have been, like, that's a low amount. So it must have been that people just fed. But yeah, I think it's warranted for me to kind of have Kled. He's fun, he's a good duelist, he's got good survivability, and I've got quite good performances on him with being relatively new to the champion. And people always, when I always say to people, "Oh, what champ do you think I should play when I'm live streaming that?" Kled always comes up, which is kind of funny, but yeah. And I will also say, which the point may not be clear, if the meta changes and these champions become weak or strong, etc., the champion pool does shift. It's not going to stay the same. No way. That's not what I do. Number 2, Gangplank. So Gangplank is coming back pure and simple because I know I'm good at Gangplank. He may not be very strong right now. If you notice on this, where he's all the way down here, they're rating him again. I don't take tier lists seriously, but he's a C. And again, negative win rate. And again, don't be too scared of negative win rates, or don't be like really worried about crazy good win rates. Because again, if you actually want to look at what these win rates mean, so this is more or less a 49% win rate, okay? It's really high into 48, so 49. All that means, out of every 100 games of Gangplank, Gangplank wins 51 games out of 100. That's all that means. It's a 2-game difference. It's nothing. Like, that's why don't get yourself caught up so much in win rates. It's really not much. Like, when it goes all the way down to 44, that's a little bit more, obviously. But still, that only means Ornn, out of every 100 games, wins 56 games out of 100. When you put it that way, it's not that big of a deal, but people really think it is. But we're going to put him there because I just know I'm good at the champion. I enjoy the champion when I'm playing well on him. But in order to be good on Gangplank, you need to play Gangplank. That's the problem with the champion. So I need to play him consistently, and yeah, he'll be fine. Next pick, again, is now going to be doubling over. And another reason why I was a bit hesitant of putting him in mid lane, Vladimir. So we're putting Vladimir in top lane. I'm not a massive fan of Cassio, but some people are like, why don't you like Cassio but like Vlad? Survivability. I like the survivability that Vladimir brings a lot more than Cassio's. And I can see the benefit of Cassio, but I kind of see him more as a cheese pick, denying melee champions with their dashes with her W rather than like actually just dueling them. Vladimir to me is a champion that I enjoy playing anyway. You can see he's in the mid lane kind of. He's good versus melees. You heard my reasoning behind putting him in mid lane. So he's quite effective. He's good at free farming. He's a really good like strong champion for late game. And again, it's going to be one of those situational picks that I'm not really going to pick him unless we need an AP champion. Oh, my team is full AD. We've got a Z mid and whatever. Okay, I'll go Vlad top. That's what that is for me, which is, you know, perfectly fine as a champion reasoning, in my opinion. Now, moving forward, it's, again, a little bit more open. So, the problem with my champion pool at the moment is that there are some very obvious champions, but then there's like 3 or 4 champions per role that I'm like, oh, yeah, they're 100% going in. But then the last couple positions or, you know, slots in each role, I'm like, oh, God, there's so many that I could choose from. Because right now I'm contemplating Jace or Renekton. So Jace for me is a champion that I usually do quite well with, but I also can do really bad with. He's kind of a flip of the coin for me. That a lot of the time I have either a very good lane phase and snowball, or I feed and I can't do much. I think I am going to put him on my champion pool, though, just purely out of personal enjoyment, and also there's a gap in the champion pool. He's a more poke-orientated top laner, which right now we don't have. You could argue Gangplank kind of does that, but Jace a lot more so. So we're going to put Jace in there. And then the final pick, I know there's going to be a few people screaming, Yorick, because technically he was a very solid pick of mine, and I guess what we could put him as is technically our split pusher. He would be our champion. I've actually missed one. Okay, we'll come back, because I have missed a champion I've literally just noticed. So top lane, we're actually going to have 6 champions. Darius. I can't believe I forgot about Darius. Darius is always one of my picks that I do well with. I can win lane on him, I'm comfortable on him, and Darius. So that's pretty obvious, I just kind of forgot. So again, the final pick, we've already got 5. Again, it's between Renekton or Yorick. So Renekton, I love Renekton's playstyle. The problem with him is he's so early game, he just falls off. That's really annoying to me because I'm more of a late game player, but I do love just playing Renekton. I like how he feels. So what I'm tempted to do is I'm going to have 6 solid champions for top lane. So we're going to add Yorick, and Yorick is going to be my split pushing champion, or potentially a counter to split pushers. Oh, you're picking Jax? Okay, I'll go Yorick. Yorick is very effective of slowing those down. What I'm going to do to kind of make up for some people going, oh no, Renekton, let's put him in the brackets like we did with Annie. If I'm simply in the mood to play it, or I'm feeling a little bit like, oh god, I need an early game champion 100% here, Renekton. There you go. That's the compromise, right? Alright, now we get into the jungle. Bada bing, bada boom. Change the role. Wow, Shaco is their top pick. So again, we're going back to roots. So our first one is Lee Sin. Even though you haven't really seen him in preseason. Someone literally just subscribed when I'm making this video. That's hilarious. Thank you, whoever that was, on Twitch. But we're doing Lee Sin. Going back to roots. I've always played well with Lee. I've always enjoyed it. You guys have always enjoyed those videos. So why not? Number 2. Kha'Zix. Again, a little bit left field, but if you've been around the channel for a long time, a lot of you will remember I love Kha'Zix. I used to play Kha'Zix mid, but I still love Kha'Zix in the jungle. Next one, we're going a little bit quicker, Elise. We had an amazing performance on Elise that I'm not... There it is, literally right there. We had an amazing performance on Elise that we carried the game, and it just felt great to do well on her. Her damage is really high. She's really fun to play. So yeah, she's there. And then I don't know really I need any more. Again, jungle isn't going to be a main role of mine. It's definitely going to be the third role, and you'll start to see the champion pool get less options the lower down we go in my kind of role order, which is, I think, intended. You should be doing that. Again, some people in my mid lane role may be going, where's the Kassadin or the LeBlanc that you're practicing? Again, I think I need a little bit more practice on those champions. Like, I had some good performances, but a little bit more practice until I actually put them in. And again, where that practice may come, Iron to Diamond. I'll be playing those champions there as well, so that'll be fine. But we're going to leave it there for jungle, because I think that's enough. AD carry, the first one shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. Ezreal. Ezreal is my best AD carry. If we actually look at my Season 8 stats in total, there is Ezreal somewhere pretty up the top. For somebody that doesn't play a lot of AD carry, there you go. Played 9 games, and again, a lot of people were surprised going, Huz, that's like no games. Again, I don't play that much League. But my win rates are very good, my KD's very good, my farm's not bad for, playing against Diamond AD carry mains. So yeah, Ezreal, he is just my favourite AD carry to play. Probably by quite a fair margin. Be interesting to see what's second. You can see my Annie win rate's good there too. Lucian, again, not many games. So again, you can't let this win rate deter you when you've played that little games. Apparently I had 100% win rate on him. Okay. Again, Ezreal might be just the one that I'm going to play whenever I'm AD carry and whenever it's possible, but you always need a backup. See, I like Tristana, even though there's not a lot of evidence here, but we played her the other day on that Platinum account, and I do like Tristana quite a lot. Again, look at this. AD carry, Cassio, Yasuo, it's like, god damn it. You'll notice Ezreal's all the way down here, but again, that's the thing that you got to think is I don't really care if he's down there because he's just my best pick. I'm tempted to put Tristana here because she has similarities to Ezreal that I like. It's the survivability. When you're not on a main role like AD carry, the biggest thing and important thing to me is surviving, is not feeding. Because you're not in your comfort role, so just do as well as you can and not die. And Ezreal has that in abundance, but also Tristana with her jump. And I like Tristana, so we're going to put Tristana as my backup, but Ezreal is 100% going to be my main AD carry. And then finally, support. First support, people shouldn't be surprised, is Alistar. Alistar is probably my best best support I've played. But what we're also going to do here as an option, I'm thinking of putting Brand basically as a damage option. If my team has got like 2 tanks, a tank top, a tank jungle, it's like, God, we need more damage. We're going to put Brand because, one, he's fun, and I'm a mid laner, so I should be able to play Brand relatively well. And then the other one I'm going to put is Thresh. So as a hook option, Thresh, in a weird way, is my kind of support pick. If, I'm not somebody that's ever going to play Sona or Soraka or Nami. They're not for me. But if my AD carry wants a more supporty support, I'm playing Thresh. We played him at the end, or even near the end of last season, and we were doing quite well. We were landing hooks, we were getting used to him. I enjoyed him, he was fun. He's got a lot of utility, he's got good engage, you can make plays, and you'll notice the pattern with my 3 supports, winning lane on those 3 supports is technically up to me, not the AD carry. And that's my biggest advice when I say to people, how do you climb a support? You take control of the lane. You don't let your AD carry do it, because he's the important person. You take control and let your AD carry kind of just jump on your back if you do well. So Alistair, I make the engages. Brand, I do the damage and poke. Thresh, I make the hook plays. That's what I want, and that's why I don't rate Sona, Nami, and those type of champions. Of all those type of champs, which one do I think is the best? Janna, like, by far. But I'm not a massive fan of playing Janna, so there you go. But that is my champion pool. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. These will be the champions you're going to be seeing in Climb to Master. Not Iron to Diamond, because Iron to Diamond is literally everything. But yeah, this is going to be my Climb to Master starting champion pool. Mid lane as the main role, then top lane, then jungle, then AD carry, then support. That's the order of the priority. And it should be fun. Again, the content over the next few days, I will say it's going to be a little bit stressful. But I will be streaming tomorrow when it's the new season. And the games that I stream will also be on the YouTube channel the same day, which will be episode 1 of of Iron to Diamond as the main video of the day. And the second video of the day most likely will be the episode 1 of Climb to Master Season 9. The reason I say most likely, there is a chance that I might upload 2 Iron to Diamond episodes on one day. There is a chance, but we'll see. Depends how many I get recorded, if I'm honest. But yeah, that's going to be it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. What you can do is in the comment section, let me know your champion pool. Maybe I'll go down there, advise some people, ask some questions, and all that good stuff. And if you're like, Huz, you missed that champion, you must have forgot, feel free to say that as well, because I might have forgot. But yeah, like, subscribe, comment down below, and I'll see you guys next time.